Today I want to share how important a form of vitamin A is for your skin. I've been using Retin-A since I was about 20 years old, and I want to tell you what it will do for your skin. There are different forms of vitamin A, and I want to be clear on that. I also want to share the active ingredients and products that should and can be combined that really create change in the skin. So let's get started. If you're new to this channel, I'm Kelly J. I'm founder of Jolie Visage Skincare and Jolie Day Spa Skin Clinic, where I've been an esthetician for almost 26 years. So I thank you for stopping on by. Hit the subscribe button and the like, and leave a comment in loving kindness below. I love to get messages. Let's get started. Okay, I promised that I would do a video on retinoids. And so it's so important for me to share all of the information that I know to the extent that I know about retinoids. This is going to be not a brief overview, but an overview of the different strengths of retinoids. And towards the end of the video, I'm going to share a few ways that we can neutralize or calm the skin down from using different forms. So the first form of vitamin A, let's just say form of vitamin A that we're going to get into is retinol. Okay, so retinol, and excuse me for cheating, I'm going to need to look at my notes so that I deliver all the information as accurately as I can. First of all, I want to talk about retinol. Okay, retinol is a retinoid. It's from vitamin A. It's a derivative of vitamin A, and retinol is found over the counter. You know, you can find it at Amazon, you can find it at Walgreens, Walmart, wherever, any pharmacy, and just you can purchase it over the counter. Retinol takes two conversions. So it's called, the first conversion is called retinol dehydrogenase, and that converts, retinol converts to retinal or retinaldehyde. And then the second conversion of retinol is when it actually converts to retinoic acid. So for this form of vitamin A, retinol is safe. It's a great way to start using a derivative of vitamin A. In skincare, retinol is used to treat acne, reduce wrinkles, and improve the skin tone and texture. It can be applied topically in the form of a liquid serum, a gel, a cream, or emollient. Retinol works by speeding up the skin cell turnover, which helps to exfoliate the skin and promote brighter, smoother skin. It can also encourage collagen production to plump the skin and to help address free radical damage. So it helps with free radical damage, like I said, and it helps with visible signs of aging. Retinol is a form of vitamin A, like I said earlier, and it has many uses in skincare. It's used to treat so many issues: acne, photoaging, anti-aging, pro-aging, I guess I should say. And it's readily available. You can find it anywhere. What does it do? It increases the skin cell increases the skin cell production, the proliferation of new cells. It helps to unclog pores. Retinol also exfoliates your skin. It depends on the concentration of the retinol. It depends on how long it's been open. And it depends on the amount of retinol in the product that can can cause irritation in the skin when first starting retinol. If you have sensitive skin, you want a low percentage of retinol, like a 1 to 3% retinol. And I will later share with you how we're going to treat the skin if you find some irritation. First of all, though, I want to, now that we've gone over retinol, I want to go over retinaldehyde, which is retinal, short. Retinaldehyde is short for retinal. Okay, the next form of vitamin A is retinaldehyde, also known as retinal. And retinol and retinol are both forms of vitamin A. We just went over retinol, but now we're going over retinaldehyde. So I'm going to be calling it retinal. Retinal is more potent than retinol, and in fact, and it acts faster on the skin because it only needs to be converted once to become retinoic acid. Retinoic acid is the next step, which is prescription. Retinaldehyde, retinal, is also stronger of the over-the-counter retinoids. One step closer to retinoic acid, which is the prescription strength. It only has to convert one time to become retinoic acid in the skin. Retinal is less irritating on the skin, and it is a closer active to the retinoic acid, but it is less irritating. Here are some of the differences between retinaldehyde, retinal, and retinol. Retinaldehyde can help with anti-aging, skin pigmentation, and enlarged pores. It can also help with tone, texture, smoothing lines and wrinkles, and firming skin. I recommend using retinol-based products at night before your skin is repairing and regenerating during this time. And because these products can make your skin sensitive to the sun, always use it at night. Retinol can be more irritating. Retinaldehyde can be more effective but less irritating. So what is retinoic acid? It is often referred to as tretinoin. So let's get into prescription strength. Okay, so we're into retinoic acid, which is considered prescription strength, which is prescription strength, and you've often heard it called Retin A. What is retinoic acid? It's often referred as tretinoin. It's prescription strength. It's a topical cream or gel, and it's used mainly to treat, again, acne, sun damage, and fine wrinkles. It may sound counterintuitive, but retinoic acid works by irritating the skin. Tretinoin is able to speed up the life cycle of the skin cells. It makes them divide faster and die faster. Healthier cells can take place. Typically, our skin sheds over 28 to 30 days, but retinoic acid speeds that cell turnover to 13 to 15 days, and our skin functions in a more youthful way, more like when we were younger. Tretinoin is sold under a variety of brand names, and these are just a few. I'm sure you've heard of Rejuva, Renova, Retin-A, Stiva, and Tretin X. Those were just a few. Tretinoin is the only retinoid with the official indication for Rhytides. I had to look up Rhytides. So the indication is for photoaging and Rhytides. Rhytides are the medical term for wrinkles, which are the skin creases that are a natural part of aging. They are usually softer, finer lines, and minor creases that appear first, while wrinkles are deeper folds or creases that often follow rhytides. So rhytides is the medical term for wrinkles. Rhytides often first appear on the forehead, then between the brows where we get our 11s, and then they move to the sides of our eyes, which are the crow's feet. And the application of Retin-A or retinoic acid is it stimulates collagen synthesis. So for those of you that haven't been on any form of vitamin A, I'll tell you, I am a true believer in it. I have been using retinoic acid. I've been using it since I was 21, and I'll share a little bit more about that in just a minute. Okay, I wanted to share with you how I started on retinoic acid, Retin-A. When I was 21, my dad had a church, a Christian church up in the high desert, and it was about 30 miles north of Palm Springs. And so I had my first child, my son, Jared, who's now, gosh, Jared's 41. Anyways, I had this hormonal imbalance and my chin started to break out. And so I went down to Palm Springs to see a dermatologist, and he said, let's get you on Retin-A. So the reason I mentioned Palm Springs is because, you know, it can be 112, 114, 115, and a lot of times in the heat, we would go down just to downtown Palm Springs to walk around, or just go down for dinner to the city, basically. And I always had to be careful during the day when we would visit, because I did have the Retin-A I was using on my skin, and I had to learn how to treat my skin and how to calm it. But I vowed, because of my interest in skin that started when I was probably 15 years old, and that's another story for another day, but I had such a passion for skin back then that I thought, I'm loving the way my skin's looking, and I'm loving how fresh and smooth it is. So that's my story about Retin-A. But later I would become an esthetician, and then now I have all these ways that I incorporate all kinds of retinol, vitamin A products into my skincare routine and my clients' skincare routine. There's ways to use it, and there's ways that we can actually combine actives. And that'll be a video that I will do for next week, because it's kind of involved. Okay, so back to some tips on starting retinol products. Okay, here we go. If you have sensitive skin, it's been in my experience that starting with Retinaldehyde, Retinal, A-L, may be your first choice. It's effective but less irritating. If you have normal, non-sensitive skin, retinol or Retinaldehyde will be fine. And for those of you that start with either of those forms of retinoids, you may want to level up to retinoic acid prescription strength after using one of these two more mild forms of vitamin A. Here's some tips. Start slowly. Apply retinol once or twice a week to allow your skin to adjust. You can try the 1-2-3 rule, where you apply retinol once a week for 1 week, twice a week for 2 weeks, and 3 times a week for 3 weeks. If you don't experience any side effects, you can increase how often you apply it. In my opinion, I love the idea of working your way up to using a retinol product almost every day. And I'm going to share with you how to neutralize that your retinol, Retinaldehyde, or even Retin-A. I wanted to show you how to neutralize it so you don't have so much dryness and irritation. And that'll be a video for next week. Okay, use a pea-size amount. I use a little bit more than a pea-size amount when I apply the Retinaldehyde from Skin Scripts, And I use the serum, the ordinary serum, 1%. I use like about 1/3 of a pipette. And then our Retinol Plus Hyaluronic Cream. That's amazing because that has the hyaluronic that's going to keep you from drying out. So that's a beautiful formula if you have sensitive skin. Let's see, what else can I tell you? Retinol is a potent ingredient that goes a long way. So you only need a small amount to cover your face. Mix it with moisturizer if you need to. You can try mixing retinol with your face moisturizer to help your skin adjust. You can also try the sandwich method where you apply moisturizer, then retinol, then moisturizer again. Now, some of you saw, well, you saw when I took the Bioderm product, and I also held up our Le Marine cream. Both of those are amazing to do a sandwich technique where you're applying moisturizer, then your vitamin A, whatever choice you want to, you know, whatever you feel will work for your skin, and then sandwich it with another layer of the moisturizer and go to bed. If you're new to retinol, look for products with a concentration of 1 to 3%. If you have sensitive or dry skin, you can try products on the lower end of that range. Cleanse your skin and let it dry. If this is a side note, as you get used to retinol or vitamin A derivative, you'll apply it with with your skin barely, with a little bit of moisture in your skin after you cleanse. That's when the vitamin A can go deeper into the skin, but that can be for later. So I don't want to confuse things. So basically, if your skin's damp, it's going to go deeper and penetrate more deeply into the skin. But you can do that later. Retinol can make your skin more sensitive to UV rays. So it's recommended to apply retinol at night and wear SPF or higher in the morning. Avoid layering with other products. Now, this is where you can make a difference in not following this rule. The general rule is not to layer actives or other products. But in my experience, that's where you can really make a difference in your skin. And so I'm going to share that in next week's tutorial. I'm going to pull out all the actives, all the skincare ingredients that we sell that I can tell you how to combine with retinol, Retinaldehyde, that will actually really increase the benefits in your skin, because vitamin A products have a way of powering those actives that we sell. And you see this beautiful synergistically work together. They synergistically work together. So I don't believe in that rule. Do not layer with other products that are active. I feel the opposite if you really want to create changes in the skin, and that's what we do. I'm not a medical professional, and I advise you to see a physician if you're going to start on a prescription strength retinoic acid prescription, Retin-A, and do not use retinoids if you're pregnant. So let's see, what else can I tell you in this tutorial? In closing, I just want to tell you that if you want to start a vitamin A product, choose a retinol, a retinaldehyde, and maybe wait for the prescription strength. Cleanse your skin really well. At first, start out with dry skin, towel dry your skin, and then use that sandwich technique that I showed you earlier, where you're layering a very mild, beautiful cream to neutralize the ingredient, the retinol, so it doesn't irritate the skin. Sensitive skin types will find that irritation, but if you do a sandwich technique and then you monitor your skin, take pictures, keep track of how your skin is changing for the good, or if it looks irritated, cut back. But there is a process, and you have to stick with a form of vitamin A in order for it to start creating the changes, to start eliminating the cells, the melanocytes, that upper layer that's like a callus layer, we want to start removing that and exfoliating it and really creating changes at the lower layers of the skin. So those new cells, proliferation can occur and they can come up to the surface and they can really change the texture, the color, the tone, and it's just a beautiful thing. I think it's the most powerful ingredient. I'm not sure, that might be my first choice. If I had to only have one product on this earth to use, it would probably be my prescription Retin-A. But on a side note, my skin is so resilient that I can use a retinol serum or retinol plus hyaluronic cream and layer Retin-A. So I have to be really careful about how I recommend the use of vitamin A products because people have sensitive skin. But I think I've given you an idea of how to really neutralize it and how to get started. As always, I thank you for stopping by. I know that I had to read from my notes quite a bit, but just nowadays with everything going on with business and product development, I wanted to make sure that I delivered the information to you correctly and really explained the difference between retinol, retinal, which is retinaldehyde, and retinoic acid, which is prescription strength Retin-A. I thank you for stopping by. Leave me a message below. As always, don't forget your sunscreen. And I hope you have a wonderful week. And I look forward to bringing you next week's version, now that you'll understand when I'm referring to the different forms of vitamin A. And then I'm going to do a fun one where I'm going to show you how actives can be combined and how to activate that vitamin A in your skin and get it to really stimulate even more changes when we combine the active creams we have in some of the ampules and even AHA. I know, that sounds crazy. Anyways, I thank you for watching as always. Have a wonderful weekend and I'll see you next week.